Hey, Terrance, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Please introduce yourself and tell us what position you're running for.
Yeah, my name is Terrance Ruth, professor at NC State School of Social Work and African Studies, husband, father, really a student of the community and running for mayor of Raleigh.
All right. All right. So, first question is, why are you running for office?
I'm running because people are trying to touch their city again and trying to engage their city again. And when I ran two years ago, people are feeling less secure than they did 2 years ago about safety, housing, security. And so for me, my number one policy issue is to secure Raleigh, make people feel represented well, make sure that they feel that when somebody's deciding local issues for them, that they're having them at the center of their decisions. And so for me, I'm running because the issues that I ran on last time only exacerbated this time. And people really want leadership. They're cleaning for leadership that will represent them well. And I believe my candidacy and my profile and who I am in my career will do that well.
Okay, great. Um, what are your plans to engage with the community when they have concerns or questions, or you just want to kind of stay in touch with them on a monthly or how often basis?
Yeah, I think healthy cities have a way in which they improve and even make dynamic their community engagement. And so for me, the first 100 days, I want to do a town hall in every district in the city. In that district, I want everyone to be able to talk through the budget, not just through policy issues, but through the budget, so that they feel connected to the decisions. After that is done, I want to incentivize the CACs to be representative of their district for in the CACs that are most representative of their district, they get voting power around zoning decisions. So I want to incentivize decisions that will encourage our existing community infrastructure to be more diversified and representative of their districts. The very next thing I would like to do is to have a sitting weekly or bi-weekly meeting with both the media and everyday citizens, not a council meeting where they hear from the mayor directly around what's going well, what's not going well with the city, what can be improved, questions and ideas that they think would be pertinent to the city. I think that would allow for people to feel connected to their city and feel led by the city.
Okay, sounds great. Why are you the best candidate for this role?
Well, for me, the city, ever since 2020, residents have felt as if they wanted leadership to be out in front on issues. People want to see, hear, and engage their leadership. And my leadership experience has been leadership that's out on the open. My campaign has led in that way. We have hosted events for the unhoused. We've hosted events for the housed. We've hosted events in North, South, East, and West Raleigh. We made ourselves visible to all residents, but most importantly, beyond just being represented well, we're prioritizing affordability. What's have impacted us the most is that people who care about the city, who love the city, they feel as if they're being forced by the market to have to live somewhere else. And so for me, my number one policy issue is housing affordability. And so I have taken serious since my last campaign, housing. I have worked with neighbor to neighbor housing to actually build housing and do a ribbon cutting this year. Also, I have met with the county and have thought through a county-wide housing strategy where the city is actually leading the county and not just our own. We passed an $80 million housing bond, and our housing deficit at a county level is at 65,000 units needed today. What happens in Raleigh impacts the whole county. That 65,000 deficit is $3.2 billion. So we're not going to bond ourselves out of this issue. And so for me, I actually have a strategy that includes more municipalities to lock arms and tackle this housing affordability issue.
Okay. Um, so what sounds like you just told me, but what one item would be your first priority in office?
Yeah, if you look at housing, housing is the only issue this time around. Most people, so right now this year we have housing as number one, safety as number two, and then depending on how you affiliate politically, safety is number one, housing is number two, but they go back and forth. You can't be serious about safety if you're not serious about housing. What we know is that law enforcement Those who can't afford to live here, they make about $50,000 a year. It costs $100,000 to live in this city. And that's mostly due to housing. We know that officers who live out the furthest resign at a higher rate. We know that for small businesses having to survive in this market and be able to pay for employees, it costs more to afford employees. We know now that for education, for the schools that impacts our city and the quality of life in our city, we know that teachers don't make enough to have housing here. So everywhere you look, housing is the critical issue. Is it education, safety, quality of life? Everything centers around housing. And so for me, housing is the only issue this time around. And so for me, I think we prioritize housing. We address some of the other issues that are critical to residents.
Gotcha. Okay. And then our last question is, what change or addition or new amenity do you believe would significantly increase foot traffic, boost retail sales, and contribute to a more vibrant downtown?
Yeah, I think if we improve the art presence downtown, if we make downtown the center of the art world for our city, and it's a place where not only local artists but national and international artists come and present to the world. And I got this idea from Winewood in Miami, where they allow for the artists to really take over a portion of their city. And that is one of the most visited places in their city. It is the most rented event space in their city. It's where they have art exposure. I mean, it literally everything happens at that space in Miami. I think we have the talent. I think we have the skill. I think we have the universities. I think we have the space. And I think we have the investment to make that downtown the center of the art world for our city. And with that, we also have an opportunity to attract more places to dine. Right now, people's number one concern downtown is safety. The second thing downtown is transportation, parking. And the third thing, they want more things to do. I think art will help bring a unique audience that can rebrand downtown so the perception of safety doesn't dominate people's mind around downtown. So I think we are suffering not just from foot traffic, but we're suffering from a perception issue. And I think art can help us pivot to a brand that feels safe, not just to adults but also to kids as well and families.
Right. Okay. Well, that's all five questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today and tell us about your stands and your policies on your upcoming election. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Cash.
All right. We'll see you downtown.
Appreciate it.